It's mailbag time here on Chat Sports. I am your host, Tom Downey, answering all of your questions coming in from our live NFL Daily Show. Remember, 2 ways to get on it, Super Chat, or you can use hashtag NFL. 2 fantastic ways to get on. Oh, by the way, check out chatsports.com/NFL combo, t-shirt hat combo pack for $30. First up from that fat rat, not a well-known name, but an amazing player. Do you think Seattle can sign Austin Reiter, or will another team sign him? Also like the video. Thank you, that fat rat. You guys should like it. I'm open to that idea. I don't trust Ethan Posick as Seattle's starting center. I'm actually very surprised Austin Reiter has not signed. This might be an example, kind of in the Desmond King mold, for example, of players who I like, who I think the general NFL fandom likes more, NFL's not as high on. I'd bring him in, let him compete for a starting role. Could even be an upgrade. So good question there, that fat rat. From Break Your Router, I'll give you a scenario for my Chiefs. A 2021 first round pick and a 2021 second round pick for what kind of player? It could be anyone. It's a good question. So I'm trying to fill a need, right, for KC. I mean, maybe a big-time receiver ends up getting put on the market. Maybe you even add or send McCole Hardman elsewhere. I don't think Odell Beckham's really available at this point. I don't think Michael Thomas is really available. I'd actually rather look on the defensive side of the ball. I think a first and a second is probably a little bit too much for Xavier Howard, but I think that's the type of player this team could utilize if they want to go all in on making that defense even better for 2021. From Mariners fan, Seahawks trade a 2022 third and a 2022 fifth for Stephon GIlmore. If that's the actual cost of a trade, heck yeah, let's do it. I'd be a little bit surprised if they just moved him for that little. But there are some issues for Seattle. If you pay Stephon GIlmore, if you trade for GIlmore, you have to pay him. And you're talking $17 million a year, which means you got to restructure guys. You're probably not going to keep Quandre Diggs, which isn't the end of the world necessarily. It makes you better at corner. It's another all-in move. I don't know how much more aggressive Seattle wants to be from that perspective. From Matt the Gamer, which teams do you think will be better this year? I mean, I think in general, you're looking at the teams that were terrible last year that have almost nowhere to go but up, right? The Jets, they should be a better football team this season. The Jags should be a better football team this year. I'd be very surprised if a team like, the Cowboys, great example there for Jeremy, they should be better this year. A team like maybe not Philadelphia, but I think the Bengals, if Joe Burrow's healthy the entire year, could be a lot better this year. I think the Niners, a healthy team, will be way better this season. So some of those bottom teams, they got plenty of room to go up. From the Carolina guy, NFC South rankings and picks. Good question. I know you don't like the Bucs, and this might not, you're not going to like my answer, but I think the Bucs are the pretty heavy favorite right now. They bring back really the entire team from last season. Now, the Saints won the division last year. I'm not sold on them. I think it's a pretty clear tier break at the top. It's the Bucs, and I'd argue then kind of everybody else. I'm not sold on Sam Darnold, so I'll put Carolina probably third. I'm worried about Atlanta. I'm going to put them fourth, and I guess the Saints second. But 2, 3, 4, totally up in the air for me. From Anisha Nod, what is your reaction to Brady and Mahomes on the Madden cover? I don't care about the cover. They could put Peyton Hillis back on it again, and I would not care about it. What I care about is making the franchise mode actually good. It has gone in the wrong direction for a decade now. If the franchise mode is finally good again, which I'll believe it when I see it, then I'll be pretty excited. Now, maybe your answer to this question is Brady or Mahomes. But you guys can be a hater right now in the comments section. And let me know who you think the most overrated NFL quarterback is. This is the pinned comment on today's video. So to get the ad break here on YouTube, scroll on down and let me know. From Raven, who do you think will win the NFC East? I'm going with the Dallas Cowboys. And the biggest reason is the return of Dak Prescott. If he's healthy, they were in games they had zero business in against NFL playoff teams. Remember, the Cowboys' early season schedule was tough. The back end was not, and that's how they got to 6 wins somehow, some way. If the defense is just, 20th, I think they win the division with a healthy Dak Prescott. If they don't, I'm going to put Washington up there. For me, it's the Cowboys, Washington, and then Philadelphia and New York in no particular order. From Shanav M, give me some hope for Aaron Rodgers to Denver. Also, can Denver trade up for a quarterback next year's draft, trade Drew Lock to the Jets for a 7th? Also, Sam needs to run one of these live. Sam often does live stuff, so stick around there, but he's often our producer here. But it's Jeremy's turn today. As for Aaron Rodgers, if he gets moved, I think it is to Denver. The next timeline in terms of the next key date, honestly, kind of backburn it for about a month. Check in at training camp. If Rodgers isn't there, this is going to get ugly, and a trade might actually go down. As for trading up for a quarterback next year, yes, very possible. I view it right now. Good depth, not as good at the very, very top. As for Drew Lock to the Jets, honestly, if you trade him if he's bad again this year, he'll probably get more than a 7th. Like, he might not be a legit franchise quarterback if you do want to trade him, but he can be a backup for you. From Avocado is going to cost extra. Am I crazy to think that with all the weapons around him, Tua's going to go off this season and prove the haters wrong? Spoken like a true Dolphins fan there. I think it's very possible. Last year, I don't think was a great evaluation standpoint of Tua. The receiving core got hurt. The O-line was not that great. And frankly, the coaching staff did not set him up for success either. Now, if Tua does not show growth this year, it gets a little bit dicey. But I like Tua a lot coming out of Alabama. I think this offense should be better for him. Speaking of Tua, I think the answer here should be no. But will Tua be a top 10 quarterback this season? Get your votes in for me. Type in Y for yes or type in N for no. I only know top 10's a high bar to clear in your first true year as a starter. Can he show the promise of a top 10 quarterback? I lean yes on that one. You guys can get a t-shirt and hat combo pack from our friends over at Fanatics for $30, folks. That is about 40% off right now. Chatsports.com/NFL combo. That link right there, bottom of your screen. It's also in the comment section and in the description. That way, all you guys have to do is click the link and buy a t-shirt hat combo pack for your favorite NFL team. These are not always on sale, and in general, you're lucky to get a officially licensed NFL team shirt for $30. You can get the hat and the t-shirt at chatsports.com/NFL combo. From Tyrone Williams, do you think the Eagles can sign, or who do you think the Eagles can sign as a veteran corner? Great question. Look, obviously, I believe Darius Slay is going to be one obvious starter there. I don't really want to roll it back with Avonte Maddox and you brought in Zech McPherson. So I really would like to go find another corner on the market. I'd say Steven Nelson. Not as big of a name as Richard Sherman, but we'll take a prove-it deal. I think Nelson would be a great pickup for Philadelphia. From Catis 16 Dupe, do you think the Seahawks are going to trade for a corner? Check in with me later on in camp. It's a possibility. If the young guys don't come along, if DJ Reed regresses, if Witherspoon looks bad or whatever, I think a trade is a possibility. But this team, as a reminder, has often looked, not young and cheap at corner. They haven't looked into big, expensive guys. So there are some players on the market, but they want to see what the young guys can do first. From Josh Smith, Raiders are looking good right now. Deadly offense, improved defense. You're not going to like this, but is the defense better? Because the Raiders' offense has been good. Now, they overhauled their offensive line. We'll see if that's for the best, but the offense is going to be fine. The defense, though, even with Yannick Ngakoue, I don't know if that's enough. Because this defense has not been good. It has held back the Raiders from being a legitimate playoff threat far too often. The offense is there. The defense, though, has not done it. They were a bottom 5 defense in DVOA last year. They got to be a lot better than that this season. So we'll see if the Raiders have done enough on defense. I hope they have, but I kind of want to see it first. From Ferrari Mami, should the Seahawks sign an offensive tackle like Dennis Kelly or Mitchell Schwartz? I mean, depends on what they cost and how they feel about their younger players. So Dwayne Brown locked and loaded in at left tackle. Brandon Shell, I think he's better than Dennis Kelly. Now, if Mitchell Schwartz is healthy, which I don't know about that, then I would have interest there. Cedric Ogbuehi is fine as your swing tackle. I think in general there's some understandable concern about the tackle position with injuries from last year. I'm a big Stone Forsythe guy, so I think they're fine for now, but we'll wait and see in terms of how that develops as camp goes on. A lot of the moves, folks, are not going to get done until later on in camp and in the preseason. From Yurji, what teams are sleepers for the Super Bowl? Do the Rams count as a Super Bowl sleeper, or are they too obvious? Because obviously they brought in Matt Stafford. I mean, I think the Chiefs are your heavy favorites out there in the West. So in the other conference there in the West. So I lean towards not the Chiefs. You know, I don't buy the Colts or Titans quite yet, but maybe Tennessee would qualify as a sleeper there. If you want to go deep sleeper, do the Bills count yet? Or are they too good? They're too good? Okay, so not the Bills. So I'll go Chargers there for out in the West, AFC West to be exact, or in the AFC. As for the NFC team, I'll go with it's not Washington, it's not the Cowboys. I'll go. Can I go with the 49ers? I'll go with the 49ers. If they're healthy, they're a good football team. So I'll go Niners, Chargers, two West Coast teams in the end. From Nick, why does Mitch hate Hurts? First off, producer Jeremy, who loves the Eagles apparently, wants to get this question up on here. Why does Mitch hate Hurts? Does he have some personal vendetta against him for some reason? He played 4 games and showed a decent bit in college. I just don't get it. Mitch has never liked Jalen Hurts. He was never high on him coming out of Oklahoma. I don't know if Hurts is going to be a starting caliber quarterback, because the guy we saw last year was not an NFL starter. Now, he could be a backup, and I think a great backup. That's what I think he's going to be in the NFL. But 6 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, 52% through the air. That's not good production. He can run. I think he'll be better this year. I think he's more in the Gardner Minshew tier. Is that fair, producer Jeremy? I'm surprised that's not fair. I think... Stop it. We have banned Patrick Mahomes comparisons there, Jeremy. You're being ridiculous. I think he's a Gardner Minshew guy. Low-end starter, you're fine, but a good backup. Wow, okay. Simping for Tom. This makes me uncomfortable. Tom, be real with me. What can I expect from my Falcons this year under Arthur Smith? In terms of the offensive style, because this is, I think, what's going to happen here, I am expecting lots of 2 tight end sets. I think both Hayden Hurst and Kyle Pitts play a lot this year. Beyond that, I don't know what to make of this Falcons team, because keeping Matt Ryan, not going quarterback, was a win-now move. Drafting Kyle Pitts, win-now move. Trading Julio Jones, not a win-now move. So I think this might be a little bit of a reset year. I think 500 is around 500, 17 games, is about a decent benchmark to try and clear if you're the Falcons. And you could go 8-1. It's fair there. But make your predictions for me in the comments section, folks. How many wins will the Atlanta Falcons end up with this season? Let me know what you guys think in the comments section. Get your votes in right now. Big Play Ja says Taron Johnson to the Cowboys. I don't really get that from the Cowboys' perspective. Johnson's been a pretty decent enough nickel corner for them, and the Cowboys already have a nickel in Jordan Lewis. From Liam Gaming 622, Tom Downey misspelled my name, but we still brought it up. It's all good. There's an E there. It's not like the fabric softener, you know? It's not like that. What player is at the top of the trading block? I mean, I think your main names there are Aaron Rodgers, maybe Stephon GIlmore, maybe Xavier Howard. The one guy who I know is available is Zach Ertz. Does he get dealt? I don't know. From Isaac Rodriguez, what do you think of the Rams? I mean, I think they should be a legitimate playoff contender this year. Can they make a deep run? We'll see how Matt Stafford fares with Sean McVay. Can the Dolphins try to trade for James Robinson? I mean, they can try. It's a logical target for them. But from what I've heard coming out of the Jags, that Travis Etienne is going to kind of be used as like the Curtis Samuel, Percy Harvin in the Urban Meyer offense, where he's part receiver. So if they're going to do that, which is weird, by the way, then I doubt the Jags move him. And Robinson was a find and a steal for Jacksonville. I would call if I'm Miami. I'm also not going to get my hopes up for a trade.